All right, Merry Christmas. Well, I know it's not Christmas anymore because it's literally 11:47 p.m. when I'm recording this. So I'm not getting this out on Christmas, but I'm still gonna say Merry Christmas. I hope you and your family had a really good Christmas. I personally did. It was a pretty good day. I got the one thing I asked for, which was AirPods, and I don't even know where they're at right now, which is great, Naya. And also, I had a great day of sports and entertainment. I started the day off by watching the Bucks and Knicks playing Jalen Brunson putting on a masterclass. If you follow me on Twitter, which few of y'all do, y'all really should, you would see me gushing over Jalen Brunson for a good half an hour. Then after that, I watched the Chiefs play the Raiders in a game that I can't describe any other way other than pure CTE football at its finest. I mean, the Raiders didn't throw a pass for the last three quarters and won the game in a game where they only kicked two field goals, and the Chiefs actually scored a touchdown, and they lost because the Chiefs on back-to-back possessions had a fumble return for a touchdown and threw a pick six. So it's like, what the hell was happening? And then in between that, I saw the color purple, so I didn't watch all the other NBA games or the Eagles and Giants, which I guess I heard was a good game. Tommy DeVito got benched and Tyrod came in and looked good for a second, and the Eagles were looking like the Eagles, not really that good of a football team. But the game that I cared about the most out of all the sporting events today was this Ravens versus 49ers game. And coming into it, I thought it was going to be a Super Bowl preview. And I still believe that, but I believe we now truthfully know who the best team in the league is. And that is the Baltimore Ravens. And the thing about this game, I can't even say the Baltimore Ravens dominated from start to finish because they came out the gate in this game not looking good. I mean, they came out with the 49ers forcing them to punt. Then the 49ers marched downfield. They end up getting a pick. They end up having to punt again, or not punt. All I know is, oh no, it was the safety that happened right after that. So they started off down 5-0, and it was looking like a game that was going to be very low scoring and defensively dominated. And it was. The Ravens defense dominated this football game. Like, they are the best defense in the league. And I do believe the two best defenses play each other today. We just saw who was the best one for sure. And that is the Ravens. The way they're able to get pressure, tackle well in space, and force turnovers is amazing. And Kyle Hamilton, who I hope gets better, I really do. He looks like the best safety in football. That man is all over the field. You like whenever you say his name, it feels like right after that he makes a play. He had those two picks, which were both great. The first one, he baited Brock Purdy into throwing that deep over to Debo Samuel, where if Kyle Hamilton wasn't there, that would have been a touchdown. The second pick, which was one of the most amazing things I've ever seen in my life. He was chop blocked, pancaked, got up, and caught the pick off the tip. Pause. And it was amazing. Like, he was all over the place. And I really do hope he gets better. I hope his knee is not that bad. In all honesty, the Ravens should just sit him for the rest of the year and just save him for the playoffs because he is that good of a player that can literally change the game, which is what he did in this game. And coming into it, I honestly thought the 49ers were going to win because I thought the 49ers had the best team in the league when it came to talent. But one position proved to be the difference maker in this game, and it was simply quarterback. Cam Newton was right. Brock Purdy was a game manager, but that's nothing like I've always said that. My thing with Brock Purdy is I do believe he is a decent to good quarterback. He's just not as good as everyone wants him to be. He is not an MVP caliber player at all. If he ever wins the MVP award, he will either have to make a great jump or the award is ruined and just become a quarterback award. Because in this game, if anybody on the 49ers should be an MVP candidate, it is clearly Christian McCaffrey. Like, oh my goodness. Even in a game where the 49ers offense couldn't really muster up much until the end and couldn't really capitalize off being in the red zone or having good drives, Christian McCaffrey had like 130 yards and looked like the best player on the field sometimes. Now we all know who the best player on the field was. It was that man Lamar Jackson, who is an MVP. And I'm so happy he had this game to just prove y'all wrong. And I feel like Lamar Jackson is one of those players that if you don't think that he's that good at this point, then you're just never going to change your mind. And I personally don't get it. He right now, if we're being completely honest, this year, he is the best quarterback in the league. If we're going off a year-to-year basis. No, I don't think he's a better player than Patrick Mahomes. I do think Patrick Mahomes is better, but that's the only person who I would even put above him. But if we're just looking at this season, Lamar Jackson is the better player. I know the stats don't jump out at you, but when you watch him play, it is just he has such a command over this offense. He looks so cool, calm, and collective back there, even when they get pressure. Like the way he maneuvers in and out of the pocket, avoiding sacks, throwing at the last possible second. Like for a guy that's so talented running the football, he doesn't scramble to run, he scrambles to pass. And he did this all game long. Like I think he had less than 50 yards rushing, but it was a loud 40 something yards he had. And with the best run being the one right before halftime to get them in the I think field goal range where he like hit a euro step on Fred Warner. And I found it very disrespectful how the Niners did not have a QB spy for him at all. Like I understand that that does not normally work, but it's Lamar Jackson. You at least need to have somebody watching him at all times, or that's going to happen. And if he didn't get that huge scramble, then they wouldn't have gotten the field goal range. And maybe, just maybe, we're looking at a different game. Dominoes fall where they may all the time, and things like that are very important. Every point counts in a game like this. And I believe he is an MVP. He looked that good. His command over this offense was great. Even though his stats weren't like out of this world this game, they were still really good. Oh, I'll take these back. I'll take it back. These stats are actually very impressive. He threw 35 passes, completed 23 of them, threw for 252 yards and 2 touchdowns, and not a single interception. He ran the ball 7 times for 45 yards and had a long of 30, which was that run before the half I was talking about. Those are really good numbers. And also loved how patient he is. Like, if you watch this game early on, none of the big stuff downfield was coming open. Really, none of the stuff downfield came open all day, but he was so fine with taking the check down, being okay with throwing the ball away, not always feeling like he has to make a play. Like, he wasn't pressing, he pressed when he needed to. And also, one thing I noticed about this 49ers defense, which I've noticed for the past few years, is they do struggle a little bit on the back end when it comes to going side to side with things and like matching up with speed and quickness. Like Zay Flowers was having himself a day. Like whenever he got the ball in open space, it felt like he was making a few guys miss. Like I'm looking at his stats right now. Like Zay Flowers had 9 catches for 72 yards and a touchdown. And he only had a long of 13, but I feel like that 13 was allowed 13 if you understand what I mean. And also, Zay Flowers is looking like one of the best picks in the draft. He's looking like an absolute steal at 22. I know there was a ton of NFL teams that would kill to have a receiver like him right now. Like, he is their number one receiver as a rookie. And what Zay Flowers is doing for Baltimore is amazing and outstanding. And he's literally looking like a top 10 receiver in his first year in the league, which is amazing. And like honestly, and like they ran the ball pretty well. I mean, 26 carries for 102 yards. Like watching this game, it didn't look like they ran the ball that effectively, but they were getting chunks when they needed to. Gus Edwards and Justice Hill are two of the most like I don't want to say normal running backs, but they're like above average. And they're perfect for what this team needs. Like they've built themselves in a way that completely fit what they need. Like they have all the personnel to run what they need to run. And Lamar Jackson is literally maybe the only quarterback in the league that can run this offense to this type of efficiency. Like they are so good. And it like they don't need the big play. They're cool with just taking 5, 6 yards at a time, 3 yard rush, 5 to 6 yard little pass here. I don't know who's beating them in the AFC because there's no quarterback that I trust more than Lamar in the AFC right now. I just talked about the Chiefs earlier and then with the Raiders, and it was like, I trust Mahomes, but they have so many problems. I'm going to be making a video about them because their problems are more than just a receiving problem. Like, it's a ton. I don't want to get into it because I do want to save it for a video, but it's like, I trust them more than the Chiefs. The Bills, it's very hit or miss. Josh Allen's the definition of hit or miss in this league. And then besides that, it's like the Dolphins, like how good are the Dolphins? How good are they really when they match up with a true bona fide contender? Because I feel like the Cowboys and Dolphins are literally the same team. So I don't feel too differently about either one of those teams after that game, unless one blew out the other. The game ended exactly how I thought it would. I thought it would be a close game, and it was. And then like after that, it's like I don't see a quarterback that can match up with Lamar. Like the Browns, if they had a quarterback, yes. The Bengals, if they had a quarterback, yes. They don't have anybody to match the firepower of Lamar. And the crazy thing about this game is Lamar started off very slow. Like he did not look good in that first quarter. Like he was like 3 of 7 for like 10 yards at one point. And it was like it was a struggle. Like they were getting bailed out by the Niners with flags. That's also another thing about this game. The Niners had a ton of flags. And no, they weren't phantom flags. Every time they show a replay, I agreed with the call. They were just playing very undisciplined. And you could tell from early on that the tensions were high in this game. Like they was talking shit from the jump. Like it was both these teams knew how big of a game this was. And that's why I think the Ravens are clearly the best team in the league, because I don't think it was the 49ers overlooking them. The 49ers understood what they had to do. The Ravens are just a better ball club, and they have a better quarterback. Brock Purdy really showed you why he's not an MVP and is the definition of a game manager, because he's not going to go out there and make plays for you. They have to be made for him. They have to be wide open. They have to be yards after the catch, or he throws a really, really good ball here and there. Like I said, I don't think Brock Purdy's bad. He's just not as good as we want him to be. Now, the reason I still think this will be a Super Bowl preview is I still don't think anybody in the NFC can mess with the 49ers. They're still a really, really good team that needs to get healthy on their offensive line. Like Trent Williams missed the last few series, and I don't know how serious of an injury he has. Maybe they were just being smart and proactive by keeping him out. Same thing they did with Brock Purdy. But I also saw one of their other, like, I think tackles or guards go down, and I heard them say on the call that they only had like one more eligible lineman to even play in this game. So I really hope they get the offensive lineman thing cleared up, because they're going to need it in general. Like, you don't want to be depleted on your offensive line going into the playoffs. That's never a position you want to be depleted at. That, quarterback, and DB are places where you don't want to be depleted at, especially in this league. But I still think, like, they match up well with everybody. They already beat the Eagles, smashed the Cowboys, and the only other team that I will list as a threat is the Detroit Lions, and they match up well with them. They're able to get pressure. Jared Goff struggles with pressure, and the Lions defense really isn't that good. And I feel like against them, Kyle Shanahan is going to be able to get whatever he wants, because his skill position players are that good. Even in a game where this was a blowout, and I don't want to say blowout, because if it was close for a half and the 49ers fought at the end, but you saw how good these skill position players are. George Kittle, really, really good. Debo Samuel is built like a truck. How did he survive that hit from Marlon Humphrey? Like, he took that and kept running and damn near got a first down. He did that a few times at the end. Like, he was just taking hits. He is built like a running back. And Christian McCaffrey is going to win Offensive Player of the Year. He is that good. Like, if they would have won this game, I would say mail the MVP award to Christian McCaffrey. But now I'm saying mail it to Lamar Jackson. And I find it amazing that for the first time, I think, ever in the history of the NFL, the top two quarterbacks in the league are black. Whatever, like, no debating it. It's Mahomes and Lamar. They're the two best. I know people have a lot of stuff to say about Mahomes given how things are looking for Kansas City, but those are the two best quarterbacks. Nobody's touching them right now. Josh Allen, really good. He's not one of them ones. He is not. He is not. Like, he's really, really good, but he's the definition of hit or miss. Lamar Jackson, no matter what people want to say, he's been consistent. He wins over 75% of his games. He's only lost one game ever to an NFC team in, I think, 21 tries. Like, that doesn't happen. What Lamar's doing isn't normal. Lamar already has a gold jacket. He has an MVP. He has broken many records for QB rushing. He has, in my opinion, revolutionized the position of quarterback in a way, because how I see it is Lamar going 30th would never happen again. You're never going to see teams look at athletic marvel like Lamar Jackson and be like, no, he can't play quarterback for us. If Lamar Jackson was in the draft today, given what he did in college, like if he had the same college career just now, he would be the first pick in the draft. Like, he revolutionized the position. He is on his way to get another MVP award. So that's two of them things. Like, he has a gold jacket. Like, it's cemented. He's going to go down as a legend. He changed the game when it comes to mobile quarterbacks, and it's looking like that he's going to finally get a Super Bowl appearance, where I think they're going to be the favorite. This is the best team in the NFL. I love this team. Oh my goodness. Like, I'm not a Ravens fan, but I'm this close. And also, I saw that Kyle Hamilton's Korean, so he's one of us. And it's funny, me and my dad said that right before he got hurt, so it's like, was that bad luck to say? And I hope he gets better. He is so good at football. But yeah, that's just kind of my initial thoughts to this game. I literally have no script or nothing like normal. I just am talking about what I seen, and I think we seen the two best teams in NFL play, and we got a chance to see who definitively is the best team in the league, and that is the Baltimore Ravens. So thank you for watching another one of my videos. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, tell a friend to tell a friend. I love y'all. Hopefully y'all have had a good Christmas. Hope you have a nice Kwanzaa. Happy New Year. I mean, I want to see y'all before, because I got a ton of stuff I need to drop before New Year's. Like, I still have my top songs I got to do. Like, that needs to be out soon. But yeah, like, comment, and subscribe, and
subscribe to Underachiever.
Good night.